Welcome back to our journey through the fascinating world of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime's Light Novel. Let's continue from the last part, where we left.
After sending Ghidorah off, it was time to question Ramirez. She seemed suspicious, fidgeting when asked about any secrets. Threatened with no cake, she spilled everything. Rimuru was perplexed by Alberto's strength surpassing expectations and Ramirez's claim of him training Arnaud. Arnaud, a Crusader squad leader, seemed beyond the need for training. Ramirez explained how Arnaud and others, scorned by Hinata, attempted the dungeon again, reaching floor 70 before defeat. Rimuru halted the conversation, puzzled by the situation. Ramirez found humor in the tale, joined by Veldora's laughter. It must have been quite a sight. "Wow, Raphael, that's awesome," Rimuru praised, setting aside the information for later and focusing on Ramirez. Asking about Arnaud's team's progress, Rimuru speculated they reached the dragon rooms between floors 96 and 99, challenging for human explorers. Veldora chimed in, relishing their defeat by the next boss. Surprised, Rimuru questioned if the floor 80 boss was that strong, considering Arnaud's status as one of the 10 great saints, on par with Clayman and the ex-demon lords. Reflecting on the power of Adelman and Alberto, Rimuru realized they could likely defeat even a pre-awakened Clayman. Ramirez wasn't sure what to say. Rimuru was thinking about Zijin, the guardian of floor 80, and if he had grown up from being a pupa. Veldora said he was training Zijin, which made Rimuru wonder how you train a bug monster. Zijin was really fast and could move well, call his family for help, and was covered in a strong metal made from Rimuru's cells. Trainee liked the idea and wanted to use Zijin as a fast and agile boss to surprise people who were used to fighting slow golems. As Rimuru pressed Ramirez for answers, Veldora proudly boasted about Zijin's transformation into a formidable warrior, crediting himself for Zijin's skills. It turned out Arnaud's party was defeated by Epido, the queen wasp guarding floor 79, with her incredible speed and venom. Ramirez revealed that Veldora had a hand in Epido's training, sparking frustration in Rimuru for not being informed earlier, feeling betrayed by their secret. And he felt a pang of regret as he confronted Veldora about Zijin's transformation. He had suspected that complete transformation didn't mean Zijin turned into a human, and he was right. Veldora enjoyed watching Rimuru struggle to figure it out before revealing the truth. Reviewing dungeon records with Raphael, Rimuru saw Zijin's humanoid form resembling Razul, the powerful insectoid Xian defeated. Epido, the queen wasp, also underwent a similar transformation, becoming more refined in her moves thanks to Hinata's training. Rimuru realized he should have noticed the signs earlier, but now it was clear that both Zijin and Epido had evolved into formidable fighters. Meanwhile, on other side, Arnaud's bruised appearance was proof enough. So then Arnaud's group decided to rethink things they said. They went back to the start and entered the dungeon again, but one of them met their end at floor 60, in the domain of Alberto the Death Paladin, once the strongest of all paladins. Since then, they've been consistently defeated by Alberto. Even after using his Ether Break finisher, Arnaud couldn't match Alberto's skills. His undead body never tired, and he could recover even after losing body parts. It felt unfair if you didn't exploit his elemental weaknesses, you couldn't win. Plus, Adelman's holy evil inversion skill made him even stronger. Arnaud couldn't be blamed. Adelman's team had evolved into powerful monsters due to the magicules in the labyrinth. It was just bad timing. But on the bright side, facing the strongest knight from centuries ago was a rare opportunity. Now, under Alberto's guidance, Arnaud's crusaders were training in and out of the dungeon to train. Floor 60 had become dangerous without anyone noticing, but there was more to worry about. Rimuru asked about the other floors, suspecting that Adelman and Zijin weren't the only ones transforming. Turns out a new group emerged called the 10 Dungeon Marvels, packed with powerful beings. Adelman and his assistant Alberto were in it, along with Epido, now known as the Insect Queen, and Zijin, who ranked the highest. There was also Kumara, who could transform into an adult woman by absorbing magical beasts into her body from her 9 tails. After seeing Rimuru's shocked face, Ramirez eagerly announced the latest updates from the dungeon. She revealed that the 4-element infused dragons, nurtured by her as promised to Milim, had evolved into powerful dragon lords due to Veldora's magicules. Now there were fire, ice, wind, and earth dragon lords residing deep within the dungeon. Additionally, she listed the guardians and bosses on various floors. Kumara guarded floor 90, Zijin ruled over floor 80, Epido reigned as the boss on floor 79, while Adelman held sway as the guardian of floor 70 along with his companion, Alberto, the Death Paladin. Vix and Isekai joined as guardians of Floor 50, but they weren't called dungeon marvels. Beretta, who runs the place, became one instead. Beretta wanted to give up the job, but Trainee and Cherries, also known as Ifrit, were too busy helping Ramirez and Veldora to take on more work. Rimuru felt for Beretta because they were in the same boat. Thinking about the 10 dungeon marvels, Rimuru saw how Ramirez managed things and Veldora gave power. Beretta suggested talking to everyone to see what they wanted and making changes accordingly. Ramirez explained everything clearly. Beretta continued to serve Ramirez as before. The 4 Dragon Lords also followed Ramirez's orders under a contract they made since they were sentient beings. Kumara became very attached to Rimuru, even declaring herself Rimuru's pet publicly, surpassing Ranga in loyalty. Zijin, Apito, and Adelman also pledged allegiance to Rimuru, considering him their lord. This influence extended to Alberto, who now showed loyalty to Rimuru through his boss. So, in a way, these 5 belonged to Rimuru. Rimuru thought Bovix and Isekai would be better suited under Ramirez's leadership, given their initial hiring by the dungeon. However, they expressed a desire to serve Rimuru instead, valuing the fact that Rimuru named them. Rimuru realized that this meant a lot to them and felt pleased by their choice. He planned to express his gratitude to them the next time they met. As Rimuru observed the Imperial intruders, he witnessed remarkable changes in the dungeon's guardians, leaving him amazed. While he felt a bit anxious about these unexpected evolutions, he found comfort in the strengthened defenses provided by the 10 dungeon marvels. Rimuru instructed them to go easy on ordinary challengers to ensure fairness and accessibility. His main concern was to protect Floor 100 from breach, a task entrusted to Veldora. However, Rimuru also wanted adventurers to explore down to Floor 80, appreciating the effort put into its construction, although such considerations could wait for peacetime. After checking on the growth of each floor guardian in the labyrinth, Rimuru was impressed by their evolution, feeling confident in their strength against any Imperial threat. A few days later, he tested the completed forest monitoring system from the control center, located adjacent to Veldora's chamber on Floor 100. Although Rimuru regretted the lengthy name he chose for the control center, preferring Benimaru's simpler designation, he recognized its importance as Tempest's headquarters in case of war. Despite being prepared for conflict, Rimuru hoped they would never have to utilize it. The magic monitoring system displayed impressive results with large screens showing various scenes from the Forest of Jura to trade routes and even sea routes in Far Minus Kingdom and peaks of Kanat Mountains. Using a simple technique with Rimuru's Megiddo magic, a lens-shaped body of water altered to project expanded images allowed real-time monitoring. Through Dominate Space, Rimuru linked tiny replicas deployed across their territory, creating a sync data network with low energy consumption. Named Argos, the Eye of God. The system provided high-resolution images, managed by Raphael's image processing, accessible from the control center. Everyone, especially Diablo, was excited about this new magic system. With the monitoring system ready, Rimuru found out he could use Megiddo spells anywhere he could see in the control center. He tried it out on Gob during practice, which was a surprise but just for fun. The spell got better, letting many satellites float in the air at the same time. Working with Argos, they could even use Megiddo at night, though it wasn't as strong. With the help of powerful spirits and Raphael's smart calculations, Rimuru could use the system easily to shoot Megiddo like beams of heat. Rimuru was excited about these new skills, thinking about how they could beat whole armies without much trouble. After the experiment's success, Rimuru went back to the office. Shortly after, Shuna informed Rimuru of a visitor. Handling guests was a big part of Rimuru's job, along with magic development, creating new products, and managing the labyrinth. The trio, seeking asylum in Tempest, nervously waited in the reception room. Rimuru had been gathering information from them in separate interviews, ensuring they had the freedom to plan their future. That day, they were there to discuss their plans with Rimuru. "So what's the plan?" Rimuru asked Shinji's group, who were torn between finding a job in Tempest or continuing as freelancers. While adventuring could bring them wealth and popularity, they realized their growth potential in the labyrinth was limited. The demon colossus on floor 60 posed a significant challenge, and even if they managed to defeat it, Adelman's group awaited below. Facing this reality dampened their enthusiasm for adventuring, despite its lucrative rewards. Adelman and his friends had grown much stronger than Rimuru expected, but he decided to set aside his concerns. He considered whether Shinji's group would find jobs in Tempest, providing them with stability amid the impending war with the Empire. Although Rimuru didn't want to pressure them, he couldn't guarantee they wouldn't be affected by the conflict. However, when Shinji expressed their desire to work in Tempest, Rimuru welcomed them warmly. With their decision made, Tempest gained 3 new residents.
That's it for today, guys, and thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for next chapter. Until then, goodbye.